What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line on Demand Sunday edition. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. Quick, get you in, out, and about for your glorious Sunday here. But before we get to today's picks, as always, let's take a look at how we did on Saturday here. And bam, look at that. Man, feel bad for my man Chuck. He's always cashing. And we almost had the sweep. And you know what? When there's no blame that goes to that man, he's always cashing, picking us up when we need him to do it. So we're gonna pick him up here. Look, man, 3-0. Major League Baseball there. Strong. Got that Vlad Guerrero home run as well. Solid day. Weather came up for us nicely. All right. Soupy, Rays Yankees over 8, crushed that one. Look at DG hit that Major League Baseball parlay minus 106. Taj Bradley 2+ walks and Rodri Munoz 2+ walks as well. And then Rafael Esparza comes through with the fight game, crushing it right there. So well done on that. All right, now let's get to Sunday's top 5 home run odds. And I'll pull myself on screen. You already know where I'm going. Sunday is Matt Olson Day. That's how we get down. And it's time. We're going to go Matt Olson here plus 350. But quite frankly, you've got some good options here. All right. Aaron Judge plus 150. Jordan Alvarez plus 250. Gunnar Henderson plus 350. Adolis Garcia plus 350. And then obviously Matt Olson plus 350 as well. So like I said, we had Vlad yesterday. We had a couple others as well. But yeah, I'm going to go Matt Olson. A phenomenal matchup against a pitcher that he's hit bombs off of already. And your boy Miles Colas there for St. Louis. So look, I'm going to go Matt Olson, right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter at home. And I'm going to explain in a second why we're going to do that. So give me Olson plus 350. Okay. Now, today's picks. Angels, A's over 8.5 minus 115. Going Orioles, Rangers over 8.5 minus 115. And we're also going to go Cardinals, Braves over 8.5 at minus 115. And then DG joining me. Look, tag team champions of the world right here. All right, let's hit the doomsday device. All right. DG's going with the Heat minus 3.5, minus 110. DG has been crushing it in regards to the NBA Summer League. So as soon as I get done recording this, I'm placing that bet too. So DG, let's get it, my boy. All right, now these are the picks for today. Let's go back to the weather report. All right, so here's what we have. If this is your first time viewing it, essentially we have found the 3, I'm not going to say best hitting options, but 3 of the most notable hitting options that you want to pay attention to. And yesterday came through for us. You see those runs scored? All right, we're going to start. Angels, A's, going right back to it. Yesterday it was 11 miles an hour out. Today it's going to be 10 and a half. All right, so pretty much same conditions that we've had on Friday, we had on Saturday, have it on Sunday. All right. I'm going to keep riding it until they tell me not to. Now, let's go back down to the Mets game. Well, what did you think about that? All right. So some things we were right on, some things we were wrong. And when I say we, I mean me, right? Like there were some things that I was looking at that I thought that there would be more than one run scored, but did feel that the guys would be gassed. All right. If the feels like yesterday in Little Havana, it was 105. Today, it's going to be 103. All right. So essentially, it's going to kind of be the same deal. Wind is blowing in again. But it's not as brutal, the wind today, as opposed to what it was Saturday. So I don't have a play on this game. But if anybody does, it's going to be tough. That being said, though, there's going to be more than one run scored, right? But pay attention. Here, what about this? I think we had 3 batters hit in that game. It was something like that, man. Like we were all over that one. But yeah, man. If anybody's brand new, humidity and temperature are not the same thing. All right, temperature. Humidity. The reason why we love humidity, the higher the better on the show, is because it's better for hitting conditions. All right, water molecules weigh less than oxygen. All right, so it creates thin air. Ball travels further. Temperature is not the same deal. That those are 2 completely different things. And we saw it yesterday, Saturday, right? 2 teams are gassed, man. It feels like 105 out there, dude. It's brutal, right? So another one, no play on that game, but just want to pay attention to it because it is Sunday. Granted, it's after the All-Star break, but still, just keep an eye there. And if you learn anything, from watching the game yesterday, let me know. You know what I mean? I'd love to ride it with you. All right. So Moving on from that one, humidity. Look at this. Okay, so Saturday we were all over, all right, the Reds Nationals because it was at 65% humidity. It is 80% humidity in Atlanta on Sunday. And here's the thing, guess what? It's gonna get even more in that game. Literally, fly balls are going to be flying out of Truist Park. So we're gonna play the over here. And again, the reason being, spoke about the water molecules. It creates a thin air atmosphere. So use 55% humidity as like the standard base. Okay, so for every 10% increase, all right, 55% to 65%. It's about 10 to 15 extra feet that a fly ball is going to travel. All right. So look at that 80%. Yeah. Like it's going to get more as the game goes. It is the largest humidity percentage throughout the Sunday slate. So, oh yeah, we're riding that one big time for sure. Now, I say that it's 1-0, right? Like, weather's not always going to play into it. It's not the only factor. You've got two good pitchers, Michaelis and Schmellenberger there for the Braves, but like, I think both of these teams, after what they've kind of gone through on Saturday, that they're going to come out and mash. And I think Meadowson's going to be a big, big part of that. I think the Angels and the A's are going to as well. And then, we'll see what the Mets and Marlins do, with that temperature there. I will say this, that the humidity in Little Havana for that Mets. Yeah, I just like saying Little Havana. The humidity down there, right? I mean, at Lone Depot Park, it is almost it's not double, but Saturday it was like 35% humidity. It's up. All right. Now the wind is still blowing in, not as hard as it was, but still blowing in. So it's something to pay attention to. That being said, though, you have a whole lot more humidity on Sunday than you did Saturday in this game. So that is definitely something to pay attention to for sure. I'm trying to think of any other games that take a look, Baltimore and Texas, even though, you're playing at Globe Life, you have the retractable roof there, the indoor humidity. It's very hot down in Texas. The feels like is way up, almost not quite at 100, but I think the feels like is like 98. But you have indoor humidity as well. The tough part is that you really don't have wind, right, affecting it. But again, I mean, these guys can mash bombs. Look at the runs that have been scored. I think that Texas is definitely going to score more runs than they did, against the G-Man yesterday for Baltimore. He's a stud. So, yeah, and Baltimore, look, let's talk about them for a second. Number one, it's Sunday. I believe they have a day off on Monday, but I mean, there's no time for them to just like, oh, hey, Sunday, like we're good. Let's mail it in. No. Like you did that for 3 weeks leading into the All-Star break. You got to keep hitting. And I think the Texas at home after the All-Star break getting whooped. I think they're going to put up some runs as well. So that's why I like that game. But let's talk about Baltimore and the reason what so far. And again, it's 2 games. Well, actually, 3 if you count the walk-off the day before the All-Star break. But what the problem for Baltimore and what they seem to have alleviated for the moment, hopefully for the rest of the year, is what coach and folks in wrestling call doing the job, doing the job. So the problem that we saw and why we jumped off of Baltimore a month ago was that their top 4 hitters were the problem in that lineup. And let me preface by saying this. I'm not saying that they were a problem, like it was like a bad locker room clubhouse. Like, no. The problem is actually they're too good. Their top 4 hitters, number 1, they can all mash bombs. Number 2, they're completely versatile. You can move 1, 2, 3, 4 around any way that you want, and they often do, right? Like that's why you said, look, go back in that losing streak and look how many times like the leadoff hitter and the 3-hole hitter would go like 0 for 5. And then the 2-hole hitter and the 4-hole hitter would go 3 for 5. And then it would inverse, right? So the problem was that the Orioles would get guys on base, but their top 4 hitters would come up, and these guys are so good and they can all mash that instead of focusing on like, all right, not choke and poke, but just my job is to get the bat on the ball and move the runners around. That's what we need to do. Well, they went out to mash. And again, you can't I'm not blaming them. And they certainly weren't like doing it, negatively. It's not that at all. This team is absolutely tight, right? Like this is very well run. But when you kind of focus on trying to mash constantly, you forget what the point of moving the runners around is, because not everything's going to go out, right? So that's why you saw so many fly ball outs. Runners wouldn't advance, station to station wouldn't do it. And it was costing them, right? Because they would lose 3-2, 5-2, right? They just couldn't get runs on the board. And you look at it and say, what is the problem? That was the problem, was 1 through 4, right? But look what they've been doing, right? I mean, even Gunnar yesterday, right? Get runners on base, ground up. That's fine. All right. No outs, 1 runner, 2 runner on. You ground out, not into a double play, but like you just say you ground out, to second base, and he's got to go to first because of the side of where, the ball was. You did your job. Like you move the runners around, and then you've got 3 other hitters behind them that now can do the same thing. Or if they catch one, that's a 3-yard job, right? That's what they've been doing. And it's fantastic to see, because this team is way too good to go on losing streaks like that. And again, I'm not saying it negative. It's baseball. Like it happens. And how do you get mad at a guy being aggressive? I say it all the time. I wish way more teams would be super aggressive. I love that about him, but it was a problem. And we saw that, but now we're seeing the inverse. And look at it. They're having fun too. Doing a job for your buddies, right? It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. So this team, I'm excited for them. I know Orioles fans are going through it. So I'm happy for you. Well done on that one. And keep that up, man. It's fun to see. So let me hit the picks one more time, then we'll get out of here. Angels, A's over 8.5. Orioles, Rangers over 8.5. Cardinals, Braves over 8.5. Those 3 are mine. DG is on the Miami Heat -3.5. And that's it, man. That's all we got. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for rolling with us and all the support that you show us. I'm telling you, it's so super appreciated. Every single one of you. Thank you, for real. But have a great Sunday. All right. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you live Monday morning, normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern. And yes, I point in the right direction right there. That's Pizza Box. Sal's Pizza. Hit it up. If you're ever in Nashville, I'll give them a free plug. They're delicious pizza, man. They crush it. So, everybody, thank you. Have a good Sunday. We'll see you Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern live. Peace.